Okay, so today we're going to make a stencil, and it needs to be based on fruit or any sort of packaging, that sort of thing. We are going to make a sample, so it needs to be able to fit on that sample. So we've got a A5 piece of card. Now, when you're drawing a stencil, so if I decide I'm going to draw a cherry shape, and there are some examples of how you could do that. Okay, so a leaf, and I'm going to do a stalk and another stalk there, and then I'm going to cut those off so I can have a separate piece, and then I'm going to draw sort of two heart shapes. Okay, and I might just make those fit there. Right, so once you've drawn your shape, what you're going to do is you're going to use some scissors and you're going to try and cut out your shape, but you need to keep the outside. So you're going to fold it in half, get your scissors, okay, and you're going to just cut out the shape inside. So you can do that in tiny little pieces, but what you're keeping is the outside shape, and you don't want to cut from the edge because then you might get some bleeds on your print. So this is a very simple shape, but to be able to cut it out well is a bit of skill. Okay, remember to turn the card around so you can get to all the little bits, otherwise you will get not such a good design. So this takes a little bit of time, like this. Okay, it might take you a little bit longer to think about your design. Remember, you're drawing it out first and then going to draw it a bit larger on here. The smaller the design, the harder it is to cut out. Okay, so these are my kind of heart-shaped cherries, and so the more detail, you can add more detail to this cherry design if you wanted to. You could add some detail to the leaves, and don't worry if you go out of your lines, okay, as long as it looks like the fruit or veg or food or packaging that you are aiming for, then it's perfectly acceptable. If you do accidentally rip your stencil when you're cutting it out, we do have some masking tape, but it becomes a little bit tricky making sure it's completely accurate and hasn't affected your design. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So there is my cherry design.